one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. This gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Look, I'm through with this false persona. I can't do the Mr. Goody two-shoe shit any longer. Y'all check y'all hoes at the door while I'm putting it on her. Feel less responsible for my actions when I say I'm on the edge and these niggas just keep harassing. Killing people I love, man, this shit just a crime of passion. I know this isn't me, boy, stop asking me what didn't happen. I've been talking to my demons, y'all really thought I was capping. Now y'all scared cause you found that I'm really about all the action. Don't do the pretend shit, all of my problems for instance. Tugging the cheek over tension, nice that we can mention. I would say I moved on, but I know that shit hard to convince it. I sleep at ease when she pull up like a hardy convention. Never been harder to fit in. I know niggas, no pot to piss in. Needing assistance. Also, no niggas ran plays with pistons. Both all wisdom. I sleep in silence, knowing everything good with the profit. I checked the summary last month, made 11 deposits. Everything is big up on the boy, feel like Christopher Wallace. Strong arm the game, who gon' stop him? That nigga too brolic. I've had enough of they twisted logic, that shit retarded. I question everything. I made the wrong choice between a paddock or a wedding ring. Hope you catching everything. They get goosebumps when I spit like when a net is seen.
Greatness. Greatness happened?
Greatness.
Really?
You got a chance to witness greatness at its highest order. Skip, what word do I want to use? Was this the crescendo? Was this the zenith? The apex? The denouement?
That's a good word. I like that word. That's a good Hollywood word.
Celebrate like a championship. Celebrate like a championship. Celebrate like a championship. Celebrate like a championship. I told you. Yo, what is good? Yo, I'm gonna get to the intro in a second, bro. This is urgent. I just so happened to come across some shows, not necessarily some shows, but some other YouTube channels recently. Some African American men YouTube channels. I noticed a lot of the African American men on YouTube, very flamboyant, loud. That seemed to be like a common narrative, especially with the bigger dudes. You know what I'm saying? I was just interested. I was noticing that. But yo, that is neither here nor there. What is good? There's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA world right now. But we ain't here to talk about the NBA. We are here to prepare for the Super Bowl. I told you, the NBA don't start for me until the Super Bowl is over. However, I am going to make videos for those. But this video is to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought I was going to make 2 videos. I'm not going to do that because I got a lot of videos to get out. So I'm just going to turn this into one whole show. So first off, how is everybody doing, yo? I hope everybody's doing great, bro. I'm doing straight. I would be doing even better if you like, subscribe, and share. I truly would appreciate that. But listen, I hope everybody's having a great day, night, evening, whatever point in time you're listening to the show. But let's get into, bro. First off, bro, I was at Bojangles today, and I'm not happy, bro. But I'm also not mad. All right. But this one I'm gonna say. I ended up getting 2 Cajun filet biscuits with egg. Shits was phenomenal. French fries, phenomenal. Sweet tea, phenomenal. Not a sweet tea, I'm tripping. I got a water. I gave the sweet tea to my mom's because I don't drink sweet tea, bro. I'm not gonna tell you why I don't drink sweet tea. I don't think sweet tea is nasty. I just don't drink it. I haven't drunk sweet tea in about 10 years. And what else did I get? I meant to get 2 Bowberry biscuits, but I forgot. What else did I get? Oh, yeah, the dirty rice. So the dirty rice that was sitting in the front looked great. That's the rice I thought they was going to give me. But as they fixed my order, I never saw them scoop up rice from that front tray. But I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm saying, okay, if they scoop me up some rice from the back, it's got to look like this rice right here. I get to the crib. I open the rice. Man, that shit is a bunch of mush. I'm like, yo, why did they serve me this when that is right there? And see, this is my biggest problem with Bojangles. This is my biggest problem. Not with the Bojangles in Durham. Well, at least not with the one that I live close to in Durham. They never fuck up my order. The one time they did one time, but that was like once. But this the one that I ate at today, where I went to today, disgusting. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just tell you, bro. The Bojangles in Winston, cause I was in Winston, bro. The Bojangles down there on where is it at? It's close to Martin Luther King near the McDonald's. Where is this Bojangles at, bro? I couldn't tell you where it's at, bro. But every one of them I eat at down there, nasty. So, except for the one near Walmart sometimes. But I'm like, man, God dang, bro. However, everything else in the order was great. So I'm conflicted. But I really like dirty rice. So, a little bit irritated with that. But nonetheless. Bro, I'm going to also say something else. So I don't eat pork, right? But I done started eating, like trying to eat pork. Because I realized it's not, well, no, my stomach do start hurting and shit when I eat pork. But listen, it's like stuff like pork chops. It's basically anything. But I tried a sausage biscuit from Bojangles. Because I used to eat sausage biscuits from Bojangles growing up when I was a child. And I remember how they taste, right? That's the other thing that I got. I knew it was something else that I had ordered, bro, because I knew it was a dirty rice, but it was something else. I ordered a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bro. That shit was disgusting. Now, listen. I'm not saying it was disgusting as in, like, the thing was nasty. I'm saying it was disgusting as in I wasn't prepared. Like, bro, I got to prepare myself to eat cheese. I do not like cheese, so I got to prepare myself to eat it. But on top of that, the cheese wasn't really the biggest problem. The egg, I mean, the egg wasn't great, but it wasn't nasty. Like, it's Bojangles' egg is very conflicting. However, it's the sausage. Bro, the sausage was cooked terribly. I would prefer people burn. So what's put me onto sausages is I had somebody cook a sausage for me, like cook some breakfast sausage. I would say that's what I'll eat now. Breakfast sausage. I don't eat no other type of sausage but breakfast sausage. But she made some breakfast sausage for me. And that shit was thumping. It was like a maple sausage and a spicy sausage. Bro. On me. Unbelievable. And so I was like, yo, this is thunder. Now, I'm not eating it all the time or nothing like that. But she'll overcook it, not in a bad way, before she undercook it, bro. Because undercooked sausage got just a disgusting taste to it. Bojangles, you let me down with that one. So it was two things in the order that they really didn't cook right. But I ain't even tripping on it. But we ain't here for that. Listen, the Philadelphia Eagles can win the Super Bowl, as can the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm here to tell you how both teams can do that. So, I didn't even take too long to get into the video tonight, bro. You got to show love to the kid. But listen. First, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, they are in the Super Bowl. This is the third time Pat Mahomes done been to the Super Bowl in his 5-year career of starting 5 AFC championship games. You can make an argument this should be his 4th trip based off of that crap that happened in New England a couple years ago. But that's neither here nor there. We ain't even gonna trip on that. We ain't even gonna reminisce on that and bring up bad vibes, bad energy, thinking about that. You dig? We passed that. We've matured, as weirdos be saying. We've matured, bro. But listen, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs have done it all. Andy Reid, the enemy. The only thing they have yet to do somehow is win a second Super Bowl. And here they are. And what's absolutely amazing about this Super Bowl is they come into this Super Bowl probably as a bigger underdog than they came into any of the Super Bowls they done played in. They got blown out and won because the offensive line went to hell last minute. And then they came back to win in the first one that they competed in. And now here they are in the third one, what I think is probably the biggest obstacle that they done faced in the Super Bowl compared to the other two teams. And the other two teams were great teams that he faced in the Super Bowl. Mind you, one of those teams, the one he lost to, was led by the GOAT, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. So Pat Mahomes ain't had no walk in the parks in the Super Bowl. this could be, you can make an argument this the toughest one. Obviously, I know Jalen Hurts is not Tom Brady, but when you look at this team across the board that the Philadelphia Eagles employ, I can make a firm argument this is the best team Pat Mahomes has faced to this point in his career in the Super Bowl. But they can still win this game, and I'm about to tell you why. Because we done seen great teams lose before. We saw the New England Patriots with Randy Moss, the undefeated season, end up losing the very last game they played. The very last game they played that season. I don't know what my mouth was doing right there. But they end up losing to the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. So we've seen great teams fold. I don't want to say fold. We've seen teams that weren't expected to win rise up in the moment and in an occasion and make big plays and have big moments in the Super Bowl and win. So it can happen. Not to mention, you got one of the greatest quarterbacks, in my opinion, to play the game to this point in his career, and Pat Mahomes, a do-it-all guy. Now, I understand he still is a bit compromised with the ankle, but you have to believe he'll be better this week than he was last week as far as more healthy with the ankle. Now, it's a funny way this thing works because we say that he's supposed to be, we would imagine he would be more healthy this week than last week, but he didn't actually have a normal healing process like most human beings would have. So when he first got the sprain, usually you just heal from that. You don't put no more pressure on it. Well, he played the following Sunday, which is putting more pressure on it and now basically restarting the process again. So he could be healthier this week, or he could be exactly where he was at last week. Regardless, it's all going to live and die off of Pat Mahomes. Now, the Chiefs have played phenomenal defense in spots. And I love the Chiefs, bro, because they continue to make this point that I've said over and over on the channel. You don't need a great defense to win Super Bowls anymore. Meaning, you don't have to go out and spend a crazy amount of money on a defense. Because to be great in not only do you not need to go out and spend a stupid amount of money on the defense, but you also don't need a defense that's ranked number 1 in the NFL all season. You see where the 49ers at right now. The Chiefs, the Bengals had a better defense than the Chiefs. You see where they're at right now. The Ravens defense, you see where they're at right now. You don't need a defense that's been great all year. What you need is a defense that know how to step up and make big plays in big moments. It don't matter if the defense has been great all game. When the offense finally do start scoring, what is the defense going to do then? On both sides. Is they going to fold and let the offense continue to score? And on the offensive side, is their defense going to allow that other team's offense to start walking down the field and letting them score? Like, what's the point of having a great ranked defense if you don't step up and make the big defensive plays in the big moments? That's what the Chiefs have. They don't need to be the greatest defense statistically. They don't need to lead the league in sacks. They don't need to have the most interceptions. They don't need to lead the league on third downs and all this. As a matter of fact, they had a couple bad stats this year. Couldn't get off the field on third down, I believe. Led the league in giving up touchdown throws. They had a lot of bad moments this year, but they ended up playing a perfect season because they still got to, well, I'm not going to say perfect because you haven't won a Super Bowl yet, but a damn near perfect season to this point, because in the biggest moments throughout this entire playoff run, they done stepped up and made plays. And it's been all over every single game they done played. Look at the Chiefs game. Look at the Bengals game. Look at the plays they had to make in that game. Picking off Joe Burrow twice. Sacking Joe Burrow multiple times, pushing the pocket and forcing him to make errant throws. Yeah, they gave up some big catches, but in big moments, they knew we got to make a play. We're not going to be perfect through an entirety of a game. We got 3 number 1 receivers opposite us right now, but we can stay in a damn good quarterback, but we can step up and make big plays in key situations and key parts of the game. And that changes everything. Especially when you got Pat Mahomes playing quarterback for your team, because you expect that he is eventually, he might not cash in all the opportunities you give him, because I don't think the Chiefs scored any points off of the 2 interceptions they had on Joe Burrow, or any of the interceptions they had off of Joe Burrow. But when they needed to make a play at the end of the game, when they needed a drive out of Patty, He got the job done. And that's why, to me, it is more important to have key players on defense that make a difference. A Chris Jones who directly affect the quarterback because he can get to the quarterback and he on that level where he put the pressure on the quarterback. He suck up other players on the line to where other dudes on his defensive line can get to the quarterback. You need guys like Bolton, the middle linebacker, who can go sideline to sideline and vertical and defend different type of dudes. You need a great player in the secondary, but you don't have to dedicate a shit ton of resources to try to put out a Baltimore Ravens type of defense. You should be using those resources on the offensive side of the ball. You just need to make sure you got a damn good defensive coordinator, which is not hard to have in the NFL nowadays because offensive coordinators are getting the head coaching jobs. Defensive coordinators are walking around the NFL. Steve Wilkes just got hired by the San Francisco 49ers. That's a damn good DC. Todd Bowles is a DC down in where did he just get that DC job at? I can't even remember where Todd Bowles just got the DC job at. But DC coaches are very rare nowadays. DC's becoming head coaches. I know D'Amico Ryans just got the job. But that was well earned over a couple years. Usually, and that's a new hire. You have not seen what he could do yet. But usually, dudes don't get a lot of opportunities. DCs are not the ones getting opportunities nowadays. Nonetheless, back to the game. So, when you had a quarterback, you had a defensive guys that make the big plays in key situations. To me, that's what's going to matter in this game because the Eagles going to bring it. The Eagles have a phenomenal defensive line, just like they had the last time they won the Super Bowl. And that's going to be tough to defend, but Kansas City got a great offensive line. Now, are their offensive line as good as the Eagles? No. Whose is? However, they have a good enough offensive line that, to me, played a pretty great game last week against the Bengals, considering who they had to stop pass rushing. They gave Pat Mahomes a shit ton of time to make plays. And so I do believe that they could have success against the Eagles this week. And in order for them to win, they're going to have to win far more than they lose. And it could be tough when you got all those different studs over there. Listen, 4 or 5 different dudes for the Eagles got 10 plus sacks. I think it's actually 11 plus sacks. And of course, Hassan Reddick is somebody, I think he ended up with like 17 sacks or something like that. And he done been a monster throughout the playoffs. The Eagles bring in I remember the Giants had that NASCAR defense when they had JPP, Justin Tuck, Michael Strahan, O.C. Umenyiora. That was their defensive line, bro. I think both the Super Bowls they won, that was the defensive line. Except for that second one, I don't think Michael Strahan was on that one. I think he had retired by then. But when you have a defensive line like that, now these players on this Eagles line, I'm not saying it's those dudes. However, the Eagles do got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Sweat, Hassan Reddick. That's not just the defensive line. That's also the linebackers, though. But those is the pass rushing linebackers. And it's dudes on the defensive line who I didn't even name yet because I can't remember their names off the top of my head at the moment. But the Philadelphia Eagles got a lot of great pass rushers that kind of remind me of that Giants pass rush and the former Eagles team that just won a Super Bowl like 5 years ago. So you got a lot on your plate if you're the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs. But they can get it done. I've seen them get it done. Not to mention with Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, Eric Bieniemy, you have to think that they understand this might be the best. No, it ain't no might. This is the best pass rush we will play this year. Easily. It's not even close. They got 70 sacks just sending 4 dudes. That's insane. It's no way that Pat Mahomes will not be sacked in this game. He will be sacked at least twice or 3 times in this game. But then when that happens, it's going to be, will it happen on key downs? And if it does happen on key downs, then it comes towards the defense of the Chiefs to step up and make those key plays that win championships. You don't got to be great the entirety of the game. The Eagles got a phenomenal offense. They got a lot of weapons. But the Cincinnati Bengals had a lot of weapons. They had a phenomenal offense. And you found a way to stop them. So it can be done. It's going to be ugly situations in this game where the Chiefs offense struggle to score points. That's just how great the defense for the Chiefs, for the Eagles are. I talked about the Eagles defensive line and their linebackers. The secondary for the Eagles is also great. So the Chiefs got a lot on their plate. However, you don't even have to play a perfect game. That's a fallacy. Oh, you got to play a perfect game. I probably done said it before too. You don't got to play a perfect game. You got to play a better game than the Eagles play, which is very capable. It's going to be stretches in this game where one or two things going to happen. The Chiefs going to struggle to score, and that's when the Eagles going to start building the lead. Or the Chiefs going to struggle to score, and the Chiefs defense step up and force the Eagles to struggle to score also. And if that's the thing that happened, the second thing, if that happened, that's how the Chiefs win this game. They have to keep it close. They have to. They don't have the weaponry in order to come back from 14-21 down. They just don't. Once you let the Eagles get a big lead and they can just pin their ears back and start pass rushing, it's a wrap. Even for the greatest. We done seen Pat Mahomes run for his life in the Super Bowl. And so, if you are the Chiefs defense, you have to look at this game as another stripe on the resume. Like, do we have to be perfect this game? No. But we have to be perfect in those key situations. I would make an argument of most of the defense I done seen the last couple years. It's very few defenses that's damn near perfect in situations where they need to get a stop on defense as the Chiefs are. And they done took that to another level in the playoffs. I would honestly say, this might be one of the Kansas City Chiefs defense's best playoff runs. And they don't even have Tyrann Mathieu there. They don't have a lot of different great players that they used to have running around on the defense. And this is one of their better years defensively. And they're going to take on some of the best offenses they done seen. Like, to me, Kansas City, bro. I mean, what they was able to do against Jacksonville, what they was able to do against Cincinnati. In order for them to win this game, they have to take both of those performances and morph them like a fucking Power Ranger. And that's how you beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised if the Kansas City Chiefs win this game. Now, it's going to be easy to try to get a Super Bowl MVP to Pat Mahomes, which you will not see me argue with. But I would imagine a dude on the defense could end up winning the Super Bowl MVP if the Chiefs win this game. Because it's going to be the Chris Jones coming away with 3 sacks in this game in 3 key situations, or 2 sacks and a big time pressure to force Jalen Hurts to rush a pass, a big stop in the backfield to stop them from picking up a 4th and short, because the Eagles go for it a lot. They are an aggressive offense, rightfully so. They got the talent. They got the weaponry. So if the Chiefs want to win this game, a defensive player have to be in the running for MVP along with Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes going to do what he do. But somebody on that defense is going to have to step up and make big plays also. And that's how the Kansas City Chiefs win this game. Now, if you are the Philadelphia Eagles, how do you win this game? That's actually very simple. It's actually very simple. You just do what you've been doing all year. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL to me. I've been saying it all year. I never picked against them all year. So, and this is not a prediction video. It actually is a prediction video. I'm going to give you my prediction at the end of it. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. They got a great quarterback. They got a great offensive line. They got great receivers, great running backs, great tight ends, great defensive line, great linebackers, great secondary, great corners, great safeties, great kicking game, great special teams, great coaching, great management team at the top, like great owner. The Philadelphia Eagles, great fan base. They legitimately they running a 10 out of 10 organization, and I know it's going crazy in Philly right now because the Philadelphia Phillies made it to the World Series last season. So it's title town right now. Not necessarily title town because the Phillies lost, but I don't want to bring up bad memories because I actually am a Phillies fan. However, it's great. It's lit, as the kids say, in Philly right now. And so if you the Philadelphia Eagles and you come into this game, you basically saying to yourself, we got to do what we've been doing all year. We run better than everybody. When we want to pass, we pass better than everybody. We understand the greatness of Pat Mahomes. But Pat Mahomes can't do it by himself. You look at that offensive line that the Chiefs employ, you say that's a good offensive line. But we done made better offensive lines look worse. And so if you are the Philadelphia Eagles, you come into this game first off on the defensive side saying our biggest problem will probably be containing Pat Mahomes. However, he don't have a Tyreek Hill on the opposite side of the field. You see what Marquez Valdez-Scantling did against the Cincinnati Bengals, but you coming out saying we ain't the Cincinnati Bengals and we got better cornerback play in James Bradbury and Darius Slay Jr. So we're not concerned about that. He's not going to do the chances of him replicating that game are very slim. And we have the guys to shut that down. On top of that, they had 3 receivers get hurt last week. How healthy are they coming into this game? They need to make big plays. We can make big plays to make the game. We could make the game look easy to where it's no shot they make big plays because of Juju Smith-Schuster and them Cole Hardman and Kadarius Toney. What's the chances of them going off against guys like a James Bradbury, guys like and you can even throw Marquez Valdez-Scantling into that. So if you the Philadelphia Eagles, you already come into this game feeling like it's no receiver they can put out there that's going to throw us off, that's going to make us have to do anything special. It's going to be more about the scheme that the Chiefs employ as to how they're going to attack our defense. So as long as we continue to be a fundamentally sound defense, we should be fine because they're going to have to scheme up one of the greatest game plans they done had this season because their talent alone is not going to throw us off. Then you have the Travis Kelce issue. How do you defend Travis Kelce? Well, now, because you are the Philadelphia Eagles with great cornerback play, you can double Travis Kelce. And Travis Kelce going to get his yards. But at the end of the day, knowing that you can double him and continue to employ those 2 corners on the outside against any other of the receivers, that just changes the game plan. See, the Chiefs, the Bengals have a great defense, and I like their cornerbacks. However, their cornerbacks are not the cornerbacks that the Eagles have. The Eagles have better cornerback play. They have better safety play. They have better line. Now, I ain't going to say they got better linebacker play, but they have great linebacker play. I just like the linebacker play for the Cincinnati Bengals a little bit more. However, the Chiefs have, if you the Eagles, you say to yourself, as great as Travis Kelce is, we have the guys to employ to stop him. Not only that, if he have to drop back, and we turn this into a drop back passing game because people keep saying we can't stop the run, but we keep proving we can stop the run. And once we play against a Kansas City Chiefs team who have run the ball more in recent weeks, however, you look at what they did last week. Pacheco couldn't seem to run. Every time Pacheco ran, it felt like he ran right into the back of somebody. It felt like he never ran into an open hole or found an open hole. We can easily turn this into a pass-heavy game and send our dudes all out blitzing, not necessarily calling all out blitzes, but sending them to pin their ears back and just getting to the quarterback. We can make this hell on wheels real quick throughout the duration of this game if we have to, if we do our jobs, because we don't look at them and say they have a ton of talent. We look at them and say they got Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes. And if we can get past this offensive line early, it's going to be a long day. If you are the Philadelphia Eagles offense, you come into this game saying we done faced way tougher defenses. I know how I feel about the Chiefs defense and the fact that they make big plays in big situations, but the Eagles should be coming into this game. Yeah, they make big plays in big situations, but we just took on a defense that we felt like did the same thing, and they were a better defense who also done been to a Super Bowl in the San Francisco 49ers. You might think that they had a better pass rush. It's not no think. You might feel like they got the better pass rush. They got the better linebacking play. I mean, the 49ers have by far the better defense when you look at them compared to the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you coming into this game saying we already done played. Nah, we're not overlooking the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, but we understand we just played against a defense that was far tougher than the defense that we are about to play against now. So if we go into this game not trying to reinvent the wheel, just continuing to do what we do to a very high level, we win this game. Not only do we win this game, I understand Pat Mahomes on the other side of the ball, but we can win this game rather easily. Because if we do what we do, they don't have a great secondary. They don't have great linebackers. They got a great linebacker. They don't have a phenomenal defensive line. They have Chris Jones. We have the best offensive line in football. The chances of Chris Jones doing what he did to the Cincinnati Bengals is ultra slim. He couldn't get a sack against the Jaguars. We a far better line than the Jaguars. Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, two other studs. Like, we were built to stop dudes like Chris Jones. We don't give a damn where he line up at. We can shut down Frank Clark. We can shut down the other dudes that they bring because they're going to have to try to bring exotic blitzes, sending safeties and corners on blitzes. Not only do our defense not need to do that, but our offensive line is built to stop it. Not only that, we have a great run game. So we can mix it up. We can get their defense off kilter, whereas the Cincinnati Bengals come to situations where they just feel like we don't need to run the ball or we not going to run the ball. We run the ball, and we run the ball damn good. Not only that, our play action passes, and we have great receivers who work great off of the fact that we run the ball so great. AJ Green is better than every cornerback he gonna see. He ain't gonna see no cornerback that he can't beat. They'll probably have to double team him, which will open things up for Devontae Smith, who I think is also better than greater than the level of competition he'll see on the defensive side of the ball, cornerback wise. So they're gonna have to commit a lot to try to stop them. But then you got Dallas Goedert, who also, to me, is a top-notch player who probably is better than all the competition he going to see on the other side in that secondary. So we got three dudes who are going to be able to make plays and get open and just create. Look at what the three great receivers did last week against this team. We can do that to the umph degree. So if you the Philadelphia Eagles, you coming into this game saying we more than have the talent to win this game. We don't even have to make this game a tough one. We understand that Pat Mahomes is on the other side of the ball. But if our defense go out and do what they supposed to do, if our offense come out and do what we supposed to do, we are the better team. We are far superior talent-wise. I understand Pat Mahomes and how great he is. But when you break down talent for talent, their offensive line ain't our offensive line. Their defensive line ain't our defensive line. Their offensive weapons ain't our offensive weapons. The only place where the Chiefs have the advantage is the quarterback. Because I understand the greatness of Travis Kelce. You know how I think. Travis Kelce, the greatest tight end of all time, in my opinion. But Dallas Goedert is a damn great tight end. That's a top 5 tight end in football. So saying Travis Kelce is the better player is not the same as like saying Travis Kelce better than like Tyler Hawkinson or TJ Hawkinson. It's a gap right there. The gap between Travis Kelce and current Travis Kelce, not legacy Travis Kelce. The gap between Travis Kelce right now and Dallas Goedert right now ain't a large one. Dallas Goedert is a damn good tight end. And when you look at the level of weapons, the competence of those weapons, how great they are, and playing in this big game, how happy you think AJ Green got to be? Bro, he just got out of Tennessee in the Super Bowl the same season they traded him away. What a life. What a life. Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life. Welcome to the good life. Better than the life I live. Where I thought that I was gonna go crazy. And my grandmama ain't the only one calling me baby. Hey, yo, T-Pain snapped on that shit. But listen, stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Y'all got me off kilter, bro. Got me unfocused. Hold up, bro. Let me drink some of this juice, bro. All right, back to the important stuff. But that's how the Eagles win this game. They do what they've done all year, and they just do it better than they done it all year. Because that's how talented this team is. You don't need Jalen Hurts to go out there and pass for like 500 yards, 400. See, that's the thing that's going to have to, that's the one thing that I think could get in the Eagles' way. Will their egos become inflated coming into this game? Will Sirianni go out there and say, you know what? I want Jalen Hurts to throw for 400 yards. and switch the game plan up to an all pass happy team instead of doing what you done all year, that's the thing that the Eagles have to worry about. But I don't believe that'll happen because they have a lot of guys on this team that's been there, done this before, won a Super Bowl. They know what it's like. So I don't think they have to worry about that. And with all that being said, my pick for the Super Bowl. And I had to think long and hard about this, pause. Because it is so hard to pick against an Eagles team that's this damn good. And it's even harder to pick against Patrick fucking Mahomes. But GOAT. It's me, a body. It's hard to pick against Pat Bagoat, bro. It's just hard. But I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been riding with them all year. I just cannot hop off of them right now. Pause. This team is so ultra talented. And so I don't remember the last time I saw a team that was so well put together, so well constructed, with the mixture of great youth, great vets, great coaching, great management, great ownership, great fans. Literally, it's no part of the Eagles team that you look at and say, this is a problem, that's a problem. This is a great team. This is a team that could have easily went undefeated this year. To me, the fact that they didn't go undefeated is exactly why you see them mopping out the competition right now. Now, I don't think they'll do Pat Mahomes the way they done been doing the other teams they done faced. But I do believe that they could end up winning this game by a 14-plus point margin because that's how great this team is. And when they decide to click on all cylinders, which is what they've basically done every single game they done played this year, except for 3, you could make an argument, they beat the hell out of teams. And they do it in such a crisp fashion. They run the ball with excellence to a high degree. They pass the ball to a high degree. You can make anything, you can say whatever you want to about Jalen Hurts doing it because of the weapons around him. But I know what this team looked like without Jalen Hurts, and I know what they done with Jalen Hurts. And so, to me, when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles team, if it's a team that's going to beat a player like Patrick Mahomes, it's a team like this. And the only way that I see the Eagles losing this game is if they turn the ball over all of a sudden a bunch. The Eagles don't turn the ball over. That's why it's so hard to beat them also. They don't turn the ball over. They just don't do it. I don't see the Chiefs defense being able to create the turnovers in this game that they can create against the Chiefs. I mean, that they created against the teams that they was able to face earlier. Because the difference between those teams and this team is the thing that helped create those turnovers is you got quarterbacks who have to make plays because they have, well, not necessarily because Joe Burrow don't lack no talent, but you got quarterbacks who was under pressure at different moments, pressure that I don't think Jalen Hurts will face a ton in this game, if at any, because the offensive line for the Eagles is far superior to the offensive lines of the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Cincinnati Bengals. The offensive line and the defensive line, to me, are going to make the biggest differences in this game. As much as I like the offensive line for the Kansas City Chiefs, they can be had. And this is the type of defensive line that can have anybody. I haven't seen an offensive line yet this year that's been able to stop the Philadelphia Eagles, and I don't think that's going to change in this game. I also don't think that I done seen a team be able to penetrate this offensive line this year, and I don't think that's going to change in this game. I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles is going to make it easier at times in this game than it's supposed to look, but that's what happens when you have a team with this type of talent where the pieces do exactly what they supposed. They all fit in perfectly to that puzzle. You got the great quarterback. You got the great weapons. It's like I said before, not Jalen Hurts. Joe Burrow is on a clock because you're not going to have that type of talent around you forever. Jalen Hurts is on a clock because he ain't going to have this type of talent around him forever. But while you do, on both sides of the ball, you got to capitalize. And I truly do believe that the Eagles will find a way to win this game. And so with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint, the Super Bowl picks and predictions video. I truly do appreciate y'all, man. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world, man. Choose to be kind to somebody. What y'all doing for the Super Bowl, bro? Enjoy those Super Bowl parties. Saint out.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price. So I pull people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.